welcome to Western Mass Comedy Group. Stay in the loop, you Snoop. Boop,
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 boop.
boop.
Boop, boop, boo. Episode 26. Pow. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Million
Nice.
dollars.
Feeling fine, like $50,000 in Bitcoin.
Oh. I like Banana Vodka Coin better. I know you're trying to sabotage Banana Vodka Coin again, Ryan, by pitching your own independent coin, beep coin. But Banana Vodka Coin is the Ethereum to your Ripple, brah. You be pumping fake money you don't have into your Bitcoin.
It's kind of like the
Inflated, get
Bitcoin
it? It's an
Lite.
inflated market.
Oh.
I like Ryan's idea though. I think that somebody has to do it. It's only a matter of time before somebody makes like a Bitcoin. So why not just get in ahead of the game? You know.
That's a great idea. Are we getting in on the ground floor?
I think that's what we're trying to do here. Yeah, we need to like get on the ground floor. Start with like a decent valuation. Maybe we could fund it with vodka coin. I mean,
vodka, yeah, maybe one could run on the other. Maybe Bitcoin could be powered by a Banana Vodka Coin or something, or the other way around.
Hostile takeover?
I don't know.
There could be.
I'm not a financial advisor, but the combination of vodka and Bitcoin probably.
I was thinking that too.
This strikes me as kind of,
biohazard vibes.
When it came to the stocks, you wouldn't be able to get it up.
We want Bitcoin to grow bigger and bigger.
Back in the olden
Bitcoin
days,
is really going to put
on the Wall Street stock markets, the stockbrokers would stick their genitals in banana vodka as a way of curing the STDs that ran so rampant in the stock market at the time. So actually, the two are not so strange bedfellows. They're what's the opposite of strange bedfellows? Totally
good
normal,
buddies.
Everyday bedfellows, like median bedfellows.
Fuck buddies.
Hanging out in bed with their vodka and their dicks in their vodka. Yeah. It would be a wild pairing too, because because once if you are pairing dicks and vodka, you never know how that works out in reality. I mean, so one person's coin might go up and another person's coin might go down. That's what I'm saying with further investment.
Exactly.
So I like the idea.
But been watching CNBC, whichever the financial one is.
Mad Dog. You guys watch Jim Cramer's Mad Dog show?
What does the C stand for? Is it cash or wait? Let me try to guess again. What's another? I give up.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
You're talking about CNBC?
Yeah.
Sembese. Pronounced Sembese.
I thought it stood for cable.
It could stand for a number of, and there's so many C words. I bet there's more C words in the alphabet. I could begin just listing C words, but I don't really feel like it. It sounds exhausting.
The C is for consumer.
Consumerism plagues America, and you know what? Banana Vodka Coin recycles all its products and runs on solar. And guess who else does? Bitcoin. All solar energy, all recyclable materials. So if people want to say, oh, crypto's not good for the environment, look how much money we're donating to charity every day to help.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Guys, somebody beat us to it.
I knew it, or you knew it.
Devastating.
Yeah.
Which count?
I bet they have the same tagline too.
Bitcoin already exists, yeah.
What if their tagline's I bet their tagline's exactly the same as yours. Not saying yours is unoriginal, but it is likely.
Is it possible
tagline.
Is it possible that it's us from the future that
anything's
invented
possible?
Bitcoin and
we
are the majority shareholders of it? Can you Google that?
Okay, so their last tweet was July 19th, 2016. We at Team Bitcoin aim to change the discourse so that men's issues have as much of a spotlight as women's.
They suck already.
Yeah, they're men's rights.
They're like a men's rights.
They just started off with
cryptocurrency.
Men's rights. That's like
gross.
Yeah,
that is gross. Don't bring your shame to crypto, to the beautiful world.
Whoa.
I never can say world. I always say world.
Yo, the victimhood is fucking thirsty in this shit.
Over who? Don't get Banana Vodka Coin mixed up with Bitcoin, folks.
Yeah.
We are no longer. We weren't associated. It was a fake idea. We had nothing to do with the
If
founders.
you were planning on buying like a caseload of banana vodka coin for your small children, you don't want a case of dick coin to show up instead.
No.
I
So I'm
really
saying,
wish I beat these guys to the punch, but they wow, they got to it like 5 years before us.
Maybe we can sell them on incel token.
Is that a real thing?
Well, if it isn't, when
Do you
maybe
pay
we
in
can
self
corner
pity?
that
Is the
market.
currency self pity? How many hundred self pities do I have
Is
Yo,
men's
to buy
health
incel
a
coin with?
dog whistle word that just means boner pills? Are they just
bro, Incel Coin's Twitter is lit. Like they've
Yeah, with
got gifs.
insulites, with insulin and insulites.
People really out here raw dogging life without weed. That's their first tweet.
That's pretty good. Actually.
Second tweet is like this kid at a fucking like rad ass like dance party. Like the shit is happening. Third tweet, the pitch that Wicket not Stokes. Like I don't even know what that means, but I'm following.
I get it anyways. I get it.
I'm following this
dude. Wicked, that was it. I'm trying to translate it now in my bro bag brain.
The pitch took that Wicket not Stokes.
I'm gonna write that down. Now we're gonna discuss what that means on the next episode because I got to know. Jason, I'm sorry. I'm handwriting it. What did it say again?
Here, I'll just share a link with you.
I like writing things down though. I like to feel like I'm doing some. Well, you don't have to. But all right, fine. We'll cover it on the next episode unless I forget.
That took that Wicket not Stokes.
The pitch that took that Wicked not Stokes.
Yeah,
sounds like a witchcraft spell.
Totally.
The pitch.
It sounds like incel coin.
You know what? That's trying to get me to trick it to write it down to bind my soul to something else. I'm not gonna. Jason, you almost got me.
That's the oldest trick in the book.
I almost fell for it. Yeah, I almost started writing out that witchcraft spell on a piece of paper. All it takes is 3 times too. You notice how I asked 3 times? You guys know that the devil. I'm going crazy right now.
Like
don't get me started. Yeah. Don't know. Nobody else say that name because then somebody might say it a 3rd time and then we don't even know whose room he would show up in. I'd be like, dude, it'd be like a gamble whose room. Well, Beetlejuice's room would show up in. That might have been the 3rd time.
Yep.
Someone try. Say it one more time. Give it a shot.
Beetlejuice.
Ah, no, you can't go over 3. That undoes the whole thing. Then it just leads to another parallel universe. Messed it up.
God, it's like fucking chess or something. How am I supposed to know all the rules?
3 or nothing with.
Do you think you would be able to live a life where you couldn't say your own name, like a la Beetlejuice?
I would forget and die within a day.
I'd never say my name. I mean,
that would be like a good. That would be a better Beetlejuice series where he's just like
say your name
all the time. Like he goes to a bar and they're like, "Hey man, what's your name?" And he's like, "Beetlejuice." Shit.
Yeah, that would be a funny sketch, dude. That's a great sketch. That would be one of those awesome 20-second sketches. It would literally just be him showing up at the door. That's awesome.
Can you say, what if you're talking to someone who has the same name as you? Can you say their name?
Oh, that's a good question, Steve. I don't think you can say it at all. I think it's just open air. If you said it, you said it. It counts again, and it counts against you. You only got 1 left.
I'm picturing
1 left before it's all over.
Beetlejuice is at a bar, and the bartender's like, "What's your name?" And he's like, "Beetlejuice." And they're like, "What?" Because it's like the music's really loud. And he's like, "Beetlejuice." And they're like, "What? Beetlejuice?" And then he gets like summoned like there, so he just like disappears and then like reappears.
Now I want to make a rap song posing as Beetlejuice that starts with Beetlejuice. What Beetlejuice? What Beetlejuice? What?
That actually sounds pretty hot, dude.
Really
right?
Get on that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll get on it. I got new beats. Oh, I'm gonna shout producers. Rogue Wave from Holyoke. He's made me some new beats. We tie those into our episodes sometimes.
Cool.
Just like promoting stuff so I feel like an actual person. Just FYI, that's why I do it, so I can feel like a human who exists. Otherwise, I'm just kidding.
I wonder what I can promote then.
Yeah, you might feel like more of a person. You know, I'm gonna promote Steve. Steve teaches music. Kids, you have to be under 12 years old.
No,
though.
you can
He's
be
at
any age.
pre-K.
You don't have to be a kid under
He's
12.
at pre-K.
And you have to be hot.
Music
hot
teacher.
only hot kids may apply.
Yeah.
There's no judgments. No
Steve, this
judgments
is what
made.
it says on. No, I'm just kidding. Pre-K is true though. You only teach.
No.
Teach pre-K.
Do not do it. They can't hold a saxophone.
The
It's
finest
just fun
in
to look at
swimsuit
pre-K.
only music lessons.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Oh my God.
We'll stop fake newsing you, Steve. He's actually a great guy. He's a great teacher. He teaches people of all ages. Do you want to shout out your band? Shout out your. It's so weird asking musicians to shout out their stuff, knowing damn well there's no like concerts happening. I'm like, Steve, maybe this week you have some big concerts coming up. You want to tell us about? Maybe you do an online show. You got any online shows coming up?
Well, we're doing stuff in the studio right now. You know, we've got a couple
Who's
tracks
that?
in the works.
When you say we, who is that?
Right, we, yeah. Well, the band that I'm speaking of is the Mary Jane Jones, based out of Northampton, Massachusetts.
Nice.
And we have some irons in the fire in the studio, or I guess just some stuff in this people in the studio. Working on some tracks. Keep an eye out for. No live stuff in the works at the moment.
Badass. I knew your band's name. I knew it would help. I knew it would help so much to hear it coming from your mouth. I don't want to solely the name of the Mary Joan Jones.
The Mary Jane Jones.
Mary Joan Jim
yeah,
James.
we do have a couple
Mary
of
Jim James group. No.
We do have a couple of singles out now. There's one, Mr. Crowley, and then there's another one.
That one's dope.
No Good for You is another, one of our originals. Mr. Crowley is written by like Ozzy Osbourne, I believe, or it was performed. I don't know who. You never know who wrote stuff, but.
No Good for You is a really funny name for a song name because people might look at it and be like, "Well, I'm not gonna listen to it then."
Right. Yeah, it's a proverbial you. I hope no one is offended by our song titles.
Oh no! It's just a goof, Steve. I'm sure people are smart enough to see what the name actually means. You'd be the most self-defeating musician ever. Anti-promote. Yeah. This new CD is called "Please Don't Buy It and Also Don't Steal It."
Yeah.
Don't get it.
You can get it. You can get it. Just don't steal it. You can go to our Bandcamp and check it out if you like.
Don't mess with Steve's money. I
do have a thing about that.
I messed with Steve's money once, and he lay hands on me. I was hurting for about a week.
He actually slapped me. That one time I won't talk about it. I'm sorry, Steve.
Yeah, I know. He's he needs to take care of his money. I respect that about him. I respect the way that he's willing to lay down and throw down on you if you don't pay up quick.
Yeah, just pay me.
Yeah. No, he will.
It's true.
He will throw hands if you don't pay them.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
You're fair. You tell us right from the start. I will hurt you if you don't pay me back this money.
I don't usually put it like that. I don't usually put it like that, but it's true.
A few times, yeah. Few times, not every time. You didn't say it exactly, but you said it. You said as much, you know.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Exactly.
You know damn well what I mean.
Exactly. He does stuff. Jason, you've heard him say that to you how many times?
Yeah,
probably too many times, if I'm honest.
Too many times. Yeah, I'm sorry about the 50.
Bringing out the volcano in me waiting to erupt.
Steve, I'm sorry about the 50 I still owe. Oh yeah, I swear it's not because of my gambling addiction or my drug problem.
Vodka coin.
Oh sure. You want some? I mean, we just give it away for free anyways to make the sales go up, so that's no problem. How many you want? Imagine getting our fake company sued. Yeah, you can't sue us because it's not actually real. That'd be my defense in court.
I mean, you could sue us individually.
I feel like we could have been sued several times over if anybody gave a shit about this podcast. Anybody took it like seriously. They would be like, he's just talking about
like an algorithm that figures it out automatically. I was reading a Vice article today about how police are starting to play copyrighted music when they arrest people in an attempt to get people to stop Instagram living them while they're brutalizing folks.
wow, that's clever. That's
Yeah, I don't know.
messed
I don't know
up.
if it
That's
works,
pretty
but it's
clever, though.
especially in LA. Doesn't that seem like a fucking LA cop thing to do?
It also sounds like a conspiracy by the same token. I wouldn't be surprised if it was true. I'm not saying it wouldn't happen, but also people make shit up. So who
I
knows? That's the
I
whole
don't.
fake news era
Do
we
they
live in.
use? I really hope they
Era,
used
era.
the Rick Roll song.
Rick
That was-
Moranis.
I don't know what kind of music cops listen to. Probably like
Classic
new-
rock.
I would think like new metal and like Sublime and Toby Keith and like
Sublime, no.
Yeah, dude, I like Sublime a lot.
I love
But
Sublime.
the thing that keeps me from liking Sublime more is that every like huge Sublime fan that I've ever known has been like a huge dirtbag.
Yeah.
Like their fans are shitty.
The fan
Great
base
band,
has a tendency
love
of being
Sublime.
a little bit of a shit.
Well, obviously not all of them, because all three of us are I assume four of us are Sublime heads.
I'm
so
not
you
a
can't
fan
just
of
cast a
anything.
net.
I will never
Steve's-
call myself a fan of anything. I'm more of
Whoa.
a critic than anything. Like, I love all kinds of stuff, but like I will never identify as a fan of anything.
Jason,
There's
don't
nothing
check
wrong
out
with
the Mary Jane
identifying as a
Jones,
fan.
No Good For You.
So
Yeah,
anti-fan.
Bandcamp.
He just doesn't. I
just
identify
can't.
as a fan of all kinds of things, but I respect Jason's
Yeah. I'm more of a absolutely. You don't have to be a fan. I'm not a fan of much.
It's like
I'm not a fan of
it's such
everything.
it's like just the term is so fucking soft and dumb. Like
No, it's not.
what
I
are you,
like
a
the term
fanatic?
fan.
It's short for fanatic.
I know,
are
so?
you're like a fanatic about like fucking like Cheers? Like you're a fanatic? Are you gonna like set yourself on
It's just a
fire because
word.
Cheers stopped? Like it's just it's so.
Cheers
Yeah.
stopped.
I mean, like I grew up without TV, so
Not a fan of
I'm
fan.
inherently just kind of like anti like whatever the culture is, where the idolization of people that you've never met just strikes me as
Yeah.
being like fucking Orwellian, So
It's true.
that's where I stand with stuff. I love Star Wars. Uh I love FKA Twigs. Like, I love all kinds of shit, but I'm not a fan of anything cuz that like just I just don't
I
like
can
the
tell you
word.
feel strongly about this, Jason.
Yeah, I don't know. You feel real strongly about it. I like using the word fan a lot, so I
It's
almost
it's
feel
like
like there's
totally
nothing wrong with
semantic.
it.
It's totally semantic, and I
It's
understand.
just a word for me.
I
It like
understand
has
that,
no
like,
bearing in anything other
Yeah.
than like I'm a fan. Like I
Totally.
like it. It's synonymous with I enjoy it. That's how like casual a term I am with. That's like when I use fan. I'm never like I'm a huge. I think you're imagining or not imagining like people annoyingly
just a
saying like,
dumb
"Oh my
word.
god, you don't know how big a fan I am." I think those people ruin the word fan because they're always yelling in the person that they're a fan of's face, being like, "I finally met
Yeah.
you. I'm
Yeah.
such a huge fan."
That's the other thing. People that
Yeah.
identify as fans, like they can't
Vocal
fucking
fans.
like they can't
Justin
like
Bieber
keep it.
fans.
They can't like keep it locked down. Like they're like fucking just like
Yeah.
fainting and sweating and
turn
shit over like
That's
people
true.
they've never fucking met, and it seems pathetic to me, like inherently. And I know that's
I
hateful.
don't know. It's not pathetic. This is
like-
kind of harsh. I feel like it's not pathetic. Like I might, as much as I
Well-
know what you're saying, I would probably get nervous in front of my legends, like it was.
No, I mean
I
I
think
get
there's
chills
moment.
when I go to like a good concert, Like
Yeah.
I love the experience of it, but like, it's as much like being around other people that are appreciating the environment as it is the
Yeah.
scene. And like I don't know. I'm
It's
too
interesting.
punked for that shit, I guess.
It's all right. Steve, how do you if you're a big fan of someone, like you know how it's awkward to approach famous people, like you don't know if you should or not. Have you
shouldn't.
ever like been a fan of someone and you saw him at the airport or the bus stop and you're like, I don't know if I should go up? If so, who was it and what did you do?
Well, I saw Gary Busey once at the Los Angeles airport,
Nice.
and just kind of minded my own business. There was family there that asked to have their picture taken with him. He was very gracious, and that's pretty much the story.
He seems like he could go either way as far as like a cold approaching him, like as a stranger. He's famous.
Yeah, he's
for
crazy. That guy's
having
out of his
some-
freaking
well,
mind.
he was in a motorcycle
Yeah.
accident where
In the
he
best way.
fucked up his brain.
Yeah,
And
TBI.
they
Yeah.
say since then he's experienced like a real lack of what do they call that?
Inhibition.
Empathy.
Yeah.
That happens. They lose impulse control pretty hard.
There was another time I was actually at my college graduation. There was I was playing in the band in the graduation ceremony, so I had my saxophone, and it was my graduation year, so I was wearing my cap and gown. So I was walking underneath the stadium, and the speaker, the keynote speaker that day was John Cougar Mellencamp,
Ha!
and
Hmm.
he earned
He
a
really puts
honor.
the Mellencamp and Cougar.
Was he sucking on
with the
chili
big
dogs?
old hair?
The well, they gave him an honorary doctorate in music that day, you know, from Indiana University,
Mhm.
and after the thing was over, I was walking underneath the stadium with my cap and gown and my saxophone, and I saw John Cougar Mellencamp walking towards me, and I said, "Hey, man, congratulations!" And he said, "Thanks, man, you too." And
That's cool.
then he went into the
There we
bathroom.
go. I want to hear an angry yeah, I saw John Travolta at the airport, and I was like, is he getting on the same flight as me? Like, cause I'm in the seating section A19, and so is he, and that's the flight boarding to Georgia in half an hour. Maybe like I should go up before I get on the plane and just say, hey, I'm a huge fan. And then I walked over there, and I was about to say hello, and he leaped up, put down his newspaper, and kicked me square in the jaw and said, I'm not signing shit.
That didn't happen.
But that would be awesome. I would rather
That
have a
would be.
story like that. Like
I have a story.
because somebody always asks, you ever meet a famous person? I'd be like, yeah. Guess what they did to me? They kicked me in the jaw. Who? John Travolta. You wouldn't believe it. I could see him actually kicking me in the jaw. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
probably did something to deserve it.
probably, yeah.
Most likely.
Yeah.
I
That's
saw
one thing we can all agree on.
That I deserve to get I can't co-sign that I deserve to get kicked in the jaw, even though I set it up. I'm gonna be suing Mr. Travolta. See him in the court in March.
Salatajas.
I'm
He's
gonna
got
sue.
Salatajas.
Litigious. Yes, I'm always threatening to take people to court. That's my head personality trait. Sue you.
I'll sue you, motherfucker.
I'll sue you about it. You don't like me? I'll
fucking sue you. That's
like
for
Andy
some reason
Kaufman's
I
bit,
like
though.
you have to have like really hairy wrists and like one of those like shitty like
You're
LED
golden-
watches, like, you know,
and a
like
golden bracelet.
yeah, exactly. I'll fucking sue you, like fingernails like the size of fucking tortoise shells.
We're just making fun of people from New Jersey. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I know we are. It's true. Yeah. But I saw Jonathan Davis at the mall one time. He was with Orgy. You guys know the band?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally.
Where else?
It was
That's
very
best place to run into Jonathan Davis. It was just Jonathan Davis. It wasn't the other cornos.
No, he was with the bassist, the one with the dreadlocks, the
Fieldy.
other. Yeah. And they were also with the Orgy crew. They changed their name to the O, but they did like a remake of
Do you run up and tell them you're not a fan?
No, but so like all these like fucking mall rats were like following them around, and like there was like a horde of mall rats, like probably like 20 to 30 strong, just this fucking
what can
crowd.
You expect?
So like I'm on this like upper floor, and I can see all this shit happening, and so I just like yelled down like, they're just trying to fucking shop, let them go, man. And like it was a good
like
moment.
A verbal smoke bomb.
Yeah, no, I totally
You dropped the verbal smoke bomb.
I told him off.
The devil in the desert. I said, he said, listen, you form and you come to the side, I'll take you on a hell of a ride. The only thing is you're gonna lose your soul. And I did it, woke up, and oh.
You're welcome.
That's a song. I hope this song named Dance with the Devil isn't taken, because I think I'm gonna name it either Dancing with the Devil or Dance with the Devil. I don't think they're taken.
What about Breakdancing with the Devil?
Oh, that's good. If only we had all the time and money to hire a demon and a breakdancing floor with
How
a
about
disco
Irish
ball.
clock dancing with the devil?
That's more likely, actually. Those Irish are, they get pretty devilish, you know. They are Christian. That's the reason I say that. So it would tie in nicely with their religious choices. Yeah.
True.
Nothing's better than accommodating Irish Catholics. Is what
Good strategy.
No, it's you went over. No, I don't want to think about Irish Catholics. Actually,
Why
I do want
not?
to go to Ireland. Well, we could.
What
The
did
new
they do to
massage.
you?
No, I like Irish Catholics. I just don't have anything. Do you have something to say? Go ahead. I have nothing to say
My
about it.
grandfather was an Irish Catholic.
I wasn't hating on Irish Catholics. I said it'd be a good choice, if anything.
What do you have against Steve's grandfather?
Like so
What do
much.
you have against Protestants?
What don't I have against Steve's grandfather? The guy dicked me over 10 times over.
Sounds like a long night.
He stole my wallet from my car, drunk,
After
as a
dicking
skunk.
you over?
Well, that was what was dick. That's
That
how
was-
he dicked me
oh,
over.
that-
That
that
was the
was-
dick over.
That was the dick.
He fucked me around.
And
That's why you guys have the nerve to bring up my beef with Steve's grandfather when I asked before the show started.
Brace
Please,
yourself.
please don't bring up the old beef between me and Steve's grandfather. We got over it a long time ago, but Steve gets pretty heated, and so do I about it.
yeah. we still
Yeah.
talk about it at Thanksgiving.
We do when I come over uninvited. Yeah,
That's what started it.
that's true. Yeah, it was a just beef he had, but I was in a tough place in my life at that point. I was just going into any house with an open door. I thought I'd be welcomed.
Not at our
Not.
house.
Not at your Irish Catholic.
Yeah, we were Irish Catholic.
Strict to the Bible ways.
Yeah.
Those Irish Catholics, they really adhere to the old punishment of the Bible. I actually appreciate that. I just don't talk about it as a guy who identifies as Christian. God will be hearing me and judging me as I do it. I don't want God to be hearing me and judging me as I do it, so I keep it to myself. It's actually smart. And it might be my last chance at getting away from dancing with the devil and reserving a spot in the sky. So I'm not going to stop now.
It's
Yeah.
bold to assume God cares.
I feel like
It's bold. Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, he doesn't have to or anything. Maybe he does. Maybe on the off chance he heard me once or twice.
I like this trying to use logic to outsmart God kind of stuff.
Well, talking about, like, you know, if you're talking about being a person of faith or of hope, if you're smart, you're not saying you have proof they exist. You just choose to pray. Like, that's how simple I keep my religion, because it feels good. Because it feels so right to believe in a higher power.
Hurts so good.
Try not to complicate it. It hurts so good, especially when I
Back
haven't
to
been
John
praying and he
Mellencamp.
sneaks in through my window and whips me 10 times. Yeah, that's the God I like. The kind that's always ready with
I thought you were talking about my grandpa.
Oh, same thing. Both are creatures of punishment.
Jeez. Wow.
Both know how to inflict pain when you deserve it, you know? I said I was sorry to him 100 times, though.
Yeah, he's like me. He's not afraid to use his fists.
That's true.
Oh.
Stubborn as a goat, too. When you're mad, you don't listen to any reason. Your sense of reason and proportion go right out the window, and your fists just start flying. Before you know it, you're down on the ground with another bloody nose.
Yeah, and don't forget.
Tale as old as time.
Don't forget. Tale as old as time. Steve, you would play a really funny mobster. I think that's just what I want to happen. I want to see you, like, you know, be the guy who goes into a sandwich. They're always like sticking up, like, in the movies. They're always like this sub shop raking in dough off these turkey sandwiches. Better pay us $200 by Friday. And it's like, I thought you guys were in control. Why are you snubbing sandwich salesmen for a couple C notes?
Well, that's how they're in
Steve?
control. Is they do it to everybody.
No, I
Everybody-
know, but it's just like over a couple turkey sandwiches. They should go for. I know they do go for bigger businesses. They could. So I'm saying leave the little guy alone, Steve.
Well, I think they take the money rather than the sandwich. That would be funny, is if they were just like, all right, here's the
just for the
deal.
turkey.
Yeah, we go to the
For the turkey legs.
We go to the spa and we'd be like, all right, we want 5 haircuts, 3 facials, 6 massages. I want a fucking seaweed wrap, and if I don't get one, I'm gonna start breaking kneecaps.
I'm gonna start
See-
talking about my gluten intolerance.
Yeah, but my version has a heavy Wisconsin accent.
Oh,
Yeah.
Steve's
So-
from Wisconsin, and he always has to let everybody know he's the Wisconsin guy.
Did you
Yeah.
frisk him? Yeah.
just like Jeffrey.
Okay, he's
Yeah,
clean.
I
Okay,
do my job. I let
yeah,
no criminals slide by free. Yeah.
that sounds kind of Russian, actually. What you just did.
Yeah, I forgot what accent you were going with, and I just default to Russian because I've been looking at pictures of Putin half naked, and so have y'all. I got one.
Can't
That's
can't
my
avoid it.
introduction to Western mass comedy groups. I'm printing out pages from now on. Nature show. The nature show. Coming soon. The nature show. And guess what we do on the nature show? We do our favorite
Snake
thing, which
facts.
is snake facts. Snake facts.
Snake facts.
Spent hours preparing for that. I got snake fact number 53, y'all. Brought to you by Karen Lenhart of 78, unique and interesting facts about snakes you might not know. Not that 77 snakes facts that be messing around with the truth. We got Karen Lenhart giving us the facts. Snake fact 53. Some desert snakes, such as the African rock python, sleep during the hottest parts of the desert summer. This summer sleep is similar to hibernation and is called aestivation. Sleeping in the daytime. These pythons. That sounds nice, doesn't it?
I do
Yeah.
that.
Under
Yeah.
a nice stone
I know,
in a cave.
I'm kind of offended for snakes. I'm like, yeah, why wouldn't they? Like, what's the deal? Like, let them catch a little rest in that
Yeah.
hot desert sun. Yeah.
I have a name for it, even.
Mm-hmm. But it's during the. It gives an adjective. It does sound kind of surprising because, as the author specifies, during the hottest parts of the summer. So these aren't just on like regular summer days. These are in Africa. This snake, it must have a real tough skin, is what I'm getting to, because it gets hot in Africa in the summer. It sounds like it's taking a nap in probably 130 degree heat. I hope it's got some kind of a shiny surface to deflect some of the sun off of it or something.
Well, it's probably like under a rock. That's or behind a cactus or something.
That's true.
It doesn't say it's in the
Did
direct
not consider
sunlight. It
that.
just said it said the hottest part of the summer. So it could be
You're
somewhere
right.
out of the direct sunlight, but it's still because much like a
You're
bear hibernating in the winter, it probably wants to. Because if it's hibernating that whole time, it needs to be relatively safe from predators.
That's true.
So,
The
so
fact
you'd
just
want to be
sounded like
behind
it
a
was
cactus.
bragging, though. The fact sounded like it was bragging to me, so I just imagined it was always out in the sun, because it's like, yo, some desert snakes, you wouldn't believe this. They're capable. So they set it up like that. So I just imagine they must be saying like right out in the open sun. But you're right. It kind of detracts from the fact a little bit. So maybe that's why I'm saying now I'm thinking, yeah, there's trees and shade. No big deal, Karen. Little upset with the snake fact. And I usually love her snake facts. This one,
I have a
They can't
don't
all be
know.
theory.
winners.
Here's my
What's
they
theory.
can't all be. Yeah, we
Um,
love theories.
so maybe the snakes are sleeping in the daytime so that they can hunt at night, because that's when
I
all
bet you're
the
right.
mammals are sleeping.
Does it mean that they are sleeping during the day and coming out at night, or it sounded to me like it was saying like they sleep for like the whole hottest part of the summer?
Because they said hibernation. Yeah, because they use the word
Oh,
hibernation. So that kind of implies that they would be doing it. So they better find a shady spot. Maybe they have to find a shady spot, as a matter of fact, for this.
yeah, their
Oh,
physiology
my
just can't
PhD in
can't
snake
deal with it.
studies expands. Yeah, yeah. They'd have to be. They would have to be like steer. Oh, that's a tagline. We're gonna talk about Rocky IV. That was a good snake fact, brought to you by The Nature Show. That's Vladimir Putin. If you want to go online and check out his nature photos, he's got about 5 million of them. Just him lying around. Some of them sprawled out on a rock, just taken in the sun. Another one, he's got his hand on his chin, looking over a cliffside. Another one, he's climbing a tree. He's really out there, you know. That's what I admire about him. He's not afraid of nature, and he's not afraid to hire a photographer to film him doing tough stuff inside of it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, because as tough as those photos could be, it kind of makes it soft when you realize he was like, I need a photographer to capture all these really tough things I do out in the wild. I know the camera angles must be good, and I must have a good I'm just trying to get us hacked by Russia now. That's what this is.
Nothing better
Or
for your
I've
ratings
been
than
hacked by Russia. What if I had what if the truth was I was saying we're trying to get hacked by Russia and I had already been hacked by Russia and everything I've been saying so far has been a product of Russian intelligence? I wouldn't be surprised and I'd say, good job, Vlad. Got me, Russia. Oh Lord. Okay, so I, in case of a silent moment like this, no dead air. I knew this dead air moment would happen, so I brought a picture of the African rock python. It rocks.
Oh, cool.
Very nice.
Wow.
Watch
That
this.
is
Camera
fantastic.
effect sweep. Horizontal flip. Outro.
Yeah.
Stardust fade.
Well done.
You
Yeah, I
can't
like
do that with
Thank
digital
you.
effects.
I learned that all by watching Screensavers in 6th grade.
That's all I did in 6th
All right.
grade.
Do you
You
guys
know who
want
we're
to
gonna have as a future? Yeah.
take a 10-minute break
Well, I wanted
before
to.
we talk about
I just
Rocky?
wanted to say also, yeah, I'm gonna shout out some stuff real quick. Austin Rutledge, Storo Nighthawk Productions. I just filmed with him. He's got a bunch of movies coming out. Some already out. Some Jason Gallagher has been in as well. His movies are pretty sweet. Check out Storo Hawk Night Drive Productions on YouTube with Austin Rutledge. And I think that's actually I think this is a good time. We wrapped up a good snake fact, but we got to make sure no one else has anything to say about the snake fact. Can we settle? Can we close this snake fact, or we leave something
Yes,
undiscussed?
I have one
I'm
thing to
good.
say. This snake is
Okay.
the exact opposite of a bear.
Okay.
It's
Snake
got
fact
no
53.
fur.
Let's
It's
elaborate
got
on that
no
when we come back.
arms. It sleeps
Wait,
in
no,
the
don't say
summer
it.
instead
We'll
of
do
the
it.
winter. Think about it.
Oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
How does the theme song go? It's like feel the passion.
Oh,
This movie,
Feel
here.
the
I have so
emotion.
much. I was one of the things that I wrote down really early on was that I'm glad that the makers of this movie didn't skip Montage Day in film school.
Oh, they never. Yeah, no. The montages in Rocky IV, which is we've begun to talk about. The montages are epic. They could, if you're not exercising, they could maybe make you start exercising because those, yeah, they're doing sit-ups off of top floors of barns and stuff like that.
Yeah, dude. Some of the workout scenes are just like, I get so fucking pumped. I'm just like, yeah.
My
Get
my
those
favorite is
gains,
by far
dog.
when his feet are being held down by his trainer from that level on the barn, and there's like hay
Yeah.
below his back, and he's like doing sit-ups. His trainer's got to be strong to do that too. His trainer gets no credit for being strong enough to hold down his ankles with all that backward torsion.
I love how like
They should have shown
sometimes
his
like
training
like
montage.
they'll show the trainer just standing there, but he's like covered in sweat, like it's whatever he's been doing was like really
Yeah.
hard. He's like, "What you so sweaty
Oh
about,
man,
buddy?" All right,
the
you guys.
relationship between boxer and his trainer is so adorable and cute. If you actually like boxing, like it's actually a big deal. Like Mike Tyson's trainer helped make him. Muhammad Ali's trainer helped make them the tactically great fighters they are.
Yeah.
But they're usually out of shape though. They're trainers. It's not like it's true. The movie is a good depiction. It's not like because they're good at teaching boxing that they don't have like flabby stomachs and like and chain smoke cigarettes. They're like, all right, 10 more push-ups, and the trainer's like chain smoking unfiltered
maybe they were
marbs.
champions or like really good boxers at one time, and now they're old or they're whatever.
Oh, they are. Yeah, they always are. That's always the
So they
backstory,
used
but they
to be
never
really
show that
good.
backstory. Yeah. Otherwise, what the hell would they know? Why would they have the right to teach boxing? They got to know how to throw their crosses and their jabs and hooks. And their uppercuts. No rabbit punching though. Rabbit punching is so cheap in boxing. It's when the other person is like grappling the other person like that, and they punch him in the back of the head as they're like hugging. The guy's
That
like,
was one of my questions too. Is I heard them mention that, and I was like, dude, I always hear them.
rabbit. That's what it is.
It's
so
the
when
back of the
clinching.
head.
Yeah, so in boxing, there's lots of clinching. So like they'll punch and then they get forward and they hold on to each other because they're exhausted and there's nowhere else to go. Rabbit punching is when the dude takes his arm and reaches behind the person's body and punches him in the back of the head,
That
which
sounds like
usually
such a
can't
good
land with
idea.
much force. it can't land with. Luckily, that punch can't generate much leverage because it fucking could kill you because it's basically punching the brainstem, or it is because it's landing right on that suboccipital area.
Brainstem? Is that
not if you have any semblance of decency? But that's a good question. I don't know if punching that spot. Well, it probably would take. Just if you punch anyone
I
harder.
realized when we were talking about it last week that this is for most of my life. This was the only Rocky movie I'd ever seen.
Yeah,
I think I ended up seeing the first one when I was like in my 20s and being nonplussed with it. But for like my entire childhood, this was because I think I was saying last week I was like, "There's a robot," and I remembered the robot butler.
Yeah,
more than I remembered anything else. And I misremembered that Dolph Lundgren
the quick
breaks.
Montage. Quick robot montage immediately upon introducing.
Yeah.
There's some things.
Jason, your audio's a little quiet. Your audio's pretty quiet on my end, at least.
My mic was
There we go. Yeah, keep your mic to your mouth. Otherwise,
yeah.
you literally can't hear shit at all.
Well, Yarbo's not even here. I was just watching the end of it.
I know, but we already started talking about it.
No,
I feel like we should include this because
well, he chose it, so you know I'd be.
That's true. Okay, let's wait.
I have so much to say. I have like a full page of.
I do want to talk about rabbit punching, though.
Yeah,
we should talk about rabbit punching.
I have
an interesting
notes too.
topic. Yeah, I do too.
I was surprised how many like different things I had with this movie. It's a lot. Like there's you can make a meal of it. You know, there's a lot to bite into.
Yeah, it works on simple but deep terms, like commitment to your lover versus risking it all through fighting. Basically, that's an old theme in boxing movies. Is like, why? Well, I'll save it.
Yeah.
There's always a codependency between the boxer and his wife.
There's some context that maybe all three of you guys well, I feel like we bring different things to this because I feel like have you guys seen the other Rocky movies?
No,
I have.
The only other
I
one
don't
I've seen is Creed.
Maybe Steve can. Well, actually, part of me was wondering. I was like, I have no desire to see like any of the new ones, but it does make me wonder how you do it without doing it like this, because this sort of like ultra montage. It's
like Star Wars. You have to watch them in a row.
It takes the cake. This takes the cake.
This movie was 90 minutes, and I think it had like 4 or 5 complete song-length montages, which was insane.
Hell yeah!
And
that's why I like it.
Super specific lyrics sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should have looked up the lyrics because they're so corny. They're like, you feel like one of the lines, like recurring songs, is like, I forget the line, but it's like, you feel the passion.
Who wants to look it up?
I'm on it. All
right. Whoever wants to read it, and I feel like that would be fun to do. So
that'd be good.
Let me just set it up so we can share the Wikipedia article.
Come on, Steve. I got opinions pouring out of my orifices.
Pores.
Trying hard now. It's so hard now. Trying hard now. Always gonna make a move, yeah.
After I was finished watching Rocky 4, I was watching flipping around on TV, and Masters of the Universe was on, and I was like, wow, for like a good chunk of at least the 80s, this guy's brand was like looking really tough but really gay at the same time.
It's true.
But I guess that's, I mean, maybe that's like more of an 80s thing, but like, I guess, I mean, like he looks like...
You sound like a homophobe.
No, because what I mean is that like he looks like he's in a certain like kind of subculture of, so I guess I mean the way he's groomed, his like tan, his like whole, well, I guess he's really pale in Rocky 4, but he's like,
yeah, I was gonna say like
the universe.
He takes care of himself.
He's like spray tanned, like because he's like fantasy. He's from fantasy world.
He looks like a young Steve Wilkos.
I know what you meant. I was just. You pull shit like that on me all the time, Ryan. Yeah. So I'm gonna fire it back at you and frame you for anti-PC shit that didn't actually happen.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever called you a homophobe. Quite the opposite, really.
No, but you guys, I've said stuff and you guys have been like victim blaming, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I think we should do more victim blaming.
Sure. Yeah. It's their fault. I
Oh,
agree.
look who showed up.
Look what the cat dragged in.
This is so pathetic. With all the technology at hand, I can't even find the lyrics to that Rocky song.
I feel like a little bit more limber standing up, like being able to move about this room. I feel like
Yeah.
I
You're
feel
getting
like I
ready for your
spend, like,
big fight. You're warming up.
I spend all day hunched over in the office chair. It makes me.
Yeah, I want to get
That's a
a
lot of upper back.
well, I actually got a VR helmet, so I'm gonna get virtual desktop, and I'm gonna just start using the helmet as like my workspace, so I can just get like, if I can get something where the keyboard's like in like reach, then I'm good.
That's a good idea. I mean, it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I don't know
Dude,
if it's a good
Litecoin's up
idea
to
necessarily.
190. I just saw that. Litecoin's up to 190, folks.
That's cool.
That's a huge gain.
Yeah, that's the downside of using my phone as my camera. I can't look at my finances. I can't check.
Dude, you guys, I just got on
It's a
Twitter
good
this week,
distraction.
and I think it's gonna change everything.
That's where you get big, man. They say the celebs, if you look online, how do you get big? They say Twitter, baby.
They just
You
announced
gotta post 1,000 posts a day,
Who's
though.
following
they
me?
just announced the
Who's
earnings for
following
this
me?
quarter.
I will.
Twitter had the most profitable quarter ever. That's the news as of today.
It's all them Boogaloo boys.
Steve, that was the keynote speaker at my graduation. Was the like the CEO of Twitter, and
Jack
it
Dorsey.
rained so. Yeah, I think so. Whoever I didn't know who he was at the time, and then it rained so hard that they had to cancel after everybody was already out there. So you ever see
Wow.
like 1,000 or 2,000, however many people, like in their best clothes, just like in the pouring rain, being like, "Why would God do this to us?"
Damn.
Yeah.
Good
That
stuff.
sounds
You know
like
why? You know what you should say? You can blame it on the rain.
Blame it on the rain.
It's all just schizophrenically break into Prince songs. Or whoever that is, I forget.
That was Milli Vanilli. Blasphemy.
Yeah, Milli Vanilli. Yeah, no, I knew it was. I need like 30 seconds to consider a thing before I say it, and it's impossible in real time. I've learned this.
30 seconds is a lot of time.
Well, don't make fun of my brain.
Dude. I get it, man.
I'm not making fun of your brain.
Yeah, you are. You said 30 seconds is a long time.
I'm just
I don't care.
trying to empathize.
I'm trying to
with
find
your
the lyrics.
situation.
Sure, yeah. I'm trying to find the lyrics for this Rocky song. Oh,
What's your
it is a
Twitter name?
long time. It leaves me hanging behind in conversations constantly.
I'm just saying that's like half a fucking minute. Like,
oh, I know.
Damn.
No, you got me all torn up. You got me all torn up, bro.
Have you seen the other Rocky movies?
I'm sorry,
we were
man.
talking about. I haven't seen any of the other
It's fine.
Rocky movies. Jason said he hasn't.
I don't think I
either.
have.
We were looking.
I think
Have
that's
you
the only
seen
one
any
I've
of
seen.
the other ones?
This is.
Oh
I don't
shit!
think-
Me too. This is also so. Oh, okay. Ezra, you think you might have seen some of the? I think
I
saw
have,
part
but I
of the
watch
first
movies late at night and don't like. It's weird. My brain is like when I enjoy things, I don't remember them because I was so into them or something. But I think I have watched them all. But in terms of the Rocky movies, Rocky 1 and Rocky 4 are supposedly the best, and I've seen both of those at least. So at least I remember the ones that are supposed to be the best. We chose Rocky 4 today. Kind of intro it now, which was Steve Yarborough's choice. Rocky 4, written, directed, acted by Sylvester Stallone.
Is that true? Did he direct Rocky 4?
He did.
I think so.
Yeah, he writes, directs, and he does everything
He's
himself.
actually
so he is, like,
working on
impressive.
a re-edit for this one.
Dude, I was gonna say we caught up with the algorithm because I looked it up today, and literally an article yesterday came out saying like redo not remix,
Bro,
director's cut of
we're
Rocky
current.
4 coming out.
We're fucking
I know,
current.
we're on track.
We
It's
fucking
weird,
hit
right?
that vein, brah.
We did. We did. It's actually really weird that we chose Rocky 4, and then yesterday the news story came out. Sylvester Stallone's doing a director's cut. of Rocky 4. I'm not taking credit for it. I'm like talking about the universe of the algorithm. I don't even know what it is, but that
It
is a
was Steve's idea, I
strange
think.
coincidence.
Yeah,
Well,
that's all
Steve,
right.
good
We
job.
can
Steve's
we
on
can
top of the algorithm. I'm not
We
taking
could
credit
also
for
we
it.
could also
It's
thank
never-
God.
Credit he deserves.
Just thank God
It's
for
bizarre.
that one, I guess.
Yeah, the
Yeah, the
algorithm put it
universe.
in my
The
head.
universe. It's true. Steve is the funnel through which all the life and wisdom of the universe travels through, specifically through
I've
movie
always said that.
suggestions. God is always giving Steve the best movie suggestions and the best musical talents. I'll include that as well, since
Oh,
you are
well,
the most
that's-
gifted musician in Western Mass.
That's
Look
very
up the
kind of you.
Mary Jane Jones Band. Yeah, Steve, do you want an intro since you chose Rocky 4? Do you want to start talking about it? Whatever it is you wrote down or your main thoughts on the movie
Oh my
since you
God.
chose it.
I wasn't prepared to deliver a monologue.
You don't have to talk about a monologue, but what I don't know, name one of the scenes or themes of the movie that made you like it so much.
If y'all would like, I could read a paragraph from Wikipedia to get it started.
Good idea.
Yeah,
there we
that's
go.
perfect.
So not to put Steve on the spot there. Let's start off with that, and then we'll.
Thank you, Ryan.
All right. In the film, the Soviet Union and its top boxer make an entrance into professional boxing. I have to say, their top unprofessional boxer, it's very specified that he has never boxed professionally before. So I'm going to have to make an edit to this article.
He's an amateur.
Already. Yeah. Okay.
It's his
Anyway.
first pro bout. It's his first pro bout.
So he initially wants to take on Rocky Balboa, but Apollo Creed decides to fight him and is fatally beaten in the ring. This is poorly written. Enraged, Rocky decides to fight Drago. That's not even true either, because it's more like Rocky goes through this like weird character growth thing. And honestly, I have to criticize some of the writing because they definitely turn Apollo Creed into like a sort of they fridge him is what they call it in comic books. Because they kill him off for in order to set up a villain, which is classic, bullshit. And I won't get into it, but
yeah. What's the summary?
Even already, I have some issues with some of that. So let's get back. Let's move on with the summary.
Yeah,
so that
summary.
We can really
let's do the summary.
sorry.
Finish the summary.
Yeah.
No, but
okay.
you're right.
You're right. We can get it. That's a good topic, but let's do the summary. I thought you were going to let's
Enraged,
do the summary,
Rocky decides to fight Drago in the Soviet Union to avenge the death of his friend and defeat and defend the honor of his country.
Right,
although
so
I also have to
boxing-
say, there was a little bit of messaging towards the end where it was like, maybe nationalism isn't like the coolest idea in the world, but it also had some Christian messaging. So I don't even, I don't know what Sylvester Stallone was trying to do here, but it's interesting. I don't like that he criticizes comics and nerds. Like, he gives nerds a real hard time in this film, and that got my goat.
Let me address the elephant in the room. There's a bunch of elephants in the room, but the first elephant in the room, is it just me, or is Sylvester Stallone not a good actor?
He plays a simple-minded character. I think he is I think he plays a simple-minded character. He wrote a simple-minded character who's like one of those fighters who, like, the only ways, the terms of his conditions are like he has to fight to win to feel alive or whatever.
Well, like,
I don't know.
He slurs so much that, like, I think that he's either like mentally not entirely there as a person, or he's a fucking brilliant actor and is playing like a punch drunk boxer who's like all passion and no intellect.
He had
Sylvester
Stallone had Bell's palsy when he was young, which accounts for like a lot of his vocal mannerisms and his his face thing.
Oh, okay.
But beyond just that, I feel like, I mean, this is a weighty role. That's not to say like, oh, he sucks and like I could do this better. Like, certainly not. But this is
he certainly got in shape for it. Like, he could have played fucking Wolverine.
Nuances
like Hugh Jackman.
that I'm not
step
you're
back.
Right. No,
dude.
you're right. Everybody in this movie is ripped. They are
fucking Carl Weathers is ripped. Like,
God
holy
damn.
shit.
True.
So
Apollo
ripped.
Creed's character.
Fuck, dude.
Or the guy who played Apollo
I have so
Creed.
many things to say about Carl Weathers. I want to quickly address that this movie adheres to the I feel like they don't do this anymore, where they play the end of the last movie at the beginning of the new movie.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen Rocky 2, I haven't seen Rocky 3, but apparently Rocky beats Mr. T, who I wrote down, his name is Clubber Lang.
I love the
which
names.
Yeah, that it's not the. You can tell he might not be the best writer by how ridiculous his fake names are, like Clubber Lang.
Or how like in the end of the film he gets
I don't think he's a
punched.
great writer.
He gets
Yeah.
punched like 40 times in an unrealistic way, where he's just taking
Brutal.
shots to the face like left and right. And at one point,
And then he
like
still has all that energy.
yeah, and yeah, he's like still just like ready to go.
Yeah,
And
he blocks punches with his face. He has no. He
yeah,
has no
he
lead guard.
literally
He
like
uses his
leads
face
it like
as a
head
blockage.
first,
Yeah.
like literally
No
head
attempt
first.
to block. Yeah.
And
He'd say something dumb with like, "You gotta get punched to get punched. You gotta get punched.
Dolph
Gotta
is
get
just
punched
like
to punch."
he's
For the first
he's
round,
not
it looks
human.
like he has never been in a boxing ring before.
Yeah, no, he's not a good boxer at all. He's a
Like, not
terrible
at all.
boxer. He can just handle more body shots than any man alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just eats body shots. Yeah,
Is
almost
that like
he has
is
to
that how like
absorb
all the
enough
films are?
punches. He has to absorb all the punches first before he dishes back out.
We're gonna have to like call in an expert who's seen all the Rocky movies to be like, this is our Rocky
There's tons
expert.
of
What-
Rocky
Ezra
experts. Yeah,
Ezra
they're
is
all
like such a boxing nerd. I feel like he could probably
I'm not a
break some shit
Rocky
down.
expert, but I can talk about boxing and I can talk about showmanship specifically. The Apollo Creed thing is that's a issue in the boxing world with showing off is like not respected at all. So I don't agree with this, but a lot of boxing fans think actually this is fucked up, but Apollo Creed deserved to die because it's like excessive showmanship before
Okay.
a boxing fight is. Hold on, let me finish. Is considered excessive
Okay, all right.
historically.
Sorry, I'm getting fired up though because
I know I don't agree with this or just I don't
No, I love
agree.
this shit.
I don't.
This is great.
I can't stand as a boxing fan. If a boxer did that, I would instantly be like, oh, he's also not as tough. First off,
Well, I
but
found the
also
showmanship detestable as well.
Can you okay fine.
But go ahead.
But yeah, it was. But it also relates to Muhammad Ali and certain historical boxers who did rely on that level of pre-showmanship performance. And people hated Muhammad Ali for that. But the thing about Muhammad Ali was he also won those fights. So that kind of behavior is more permissible if you're a winning fighter. And if it's not, you just look weak. But in general, the performance aspect pre-fight psychologically to the boxing community indicates weakness because you're more concerned with the way you look than the fight in front of you. So, yeah.
Okay.
But I don't think
So
I did not. I searched earlier and it said like tons of people like these must be shitty people because they take boxing so seriously that they're like, well, that's what he gets for that's what he gets for showing off so much and coming down on that stage. What does he get? Dead. That's what, and he deserves it. Like it's a little harsh. Like Rocky fans
that is harsh.
are a contingency of people that are not right in the head apparently because they take boxing.
He also
that's the kind of guy we would need as an expert though. That would be the expert.
He also could have let stop
I
fighting.
think that
it's true.
I think that he absolutely, I don't know, deserved to die is a little bit harsh. But first of all, the showmanship was amazing. His outfit, great. Having James Brown there and a full band in a way that Dolph Lundgren was completely unaware of
was stunned.
Genius.
He was stunned.
But
yeah, he didn't know.
But there are also a couple of reasons that I feel like not deserve to die, but could have reasonably
really
seen this
around
coming.
That phrase.
So what I wrote down is that that was suicide. That was straight up suicide.
He was depressed. Yeah.
I mean, he
didn't do any research. I mean, it seems like there's no regulation on. He was just like, I'm the champ and I'm the greatest, and so I bet I could beat
be real.
anybody regardless of anything.
Be real.
It was his hubris
that
got him. Well, and he knows
he did train for the fight, though. He did train
a little
round
bit.
Is over.
A little bit. He only had
that
like 2 weeks.
Back in there, that he's gonna die.
Okay, but like
fucking does it anyway, like a big dumb stupid idiot.
He only had 2 weeks to train. Now that I think about it, that's ridiculous because like boxers need a whole year to train before an actual fight.
When he learns about
training in 5 years,
when he learns about this Russian guy, he's got the TV like on a cart with wheels right next to his his fucking outdoor pool. So like he's
Yeah, not
suicidal.
in the best
Like
shape.
like
Yeah, that's what
bro,
I'm saying. He
like
was
that's a
sad.
bad
Yeah,
idea.
Apollo Creed was
Like that's
sad.
straight up a
Every
bad
time he
idea.
talked to Rocky, he was
Like
just like
from the start, he's like,
teary-eyed.
yeah, he's feeling down, and
He's
like
down.
he
Yeah,
even refers to his own death in you know, like before he dies, which is like
serious.
cheap as fuck. That's like some like old school like you know, you can do that like you could say it's Shakespearean, actually. Honestly, you could. Like I do appreciate to a certain I like the film. I'm making fun of
Lots of
it a
things
little
are.
bit.
I think it's more
Uh,
It's
Stallonian than
yeah,
Shakespearean, though.
it's the character. It's not for like creative genius.
More
This
fun.
movie, I think, it's genius because
yeah.
Sylvester Stallone knows exactly what the audience wants, and I think that's an underrated genius. It's the same thing with like pop music. People are like, "Oh, it's just catchy," when actually, like, a form of genius is like underrated, and it is usually corny. But I
I
wouldn't
think
expect
that's
anything less from the character that Apollo Creed plays, because that is the way boxers are. They get way over involved in the sport to the point where they're like war vets, where like they don't feel alive unless they have that extreme sense of adrenaline.
mhm.
And he is clearly depressed. Yeah, so it probably, when Ryan said it was suicidal, it definitely, to the point of negligence, and being, he almost sounded suicidal. He was like, I don't even, he didn't say I don't care if I die, but you could kind of tell.
Is Stallone?
He said, "Don't stop the fight, no matter what."
Yeah, no, that
Clearly
right.
about to be murdered.
I meant before the fight. I meant like in
Mhm.
the conversations between
Leading
Rocky and
up
him
to it,
before.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's funny is that like he has all that pomp and circumstance, all the dancing and all that, like where he's putting his hands on Dolph Lundgren's shoulder and kind of fucking with him and like
Yeah,
talking
it's
shit.
fun. Yeah.
He must know on some level that he's about to get murdered.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, maybe he doesn't know, but just to be that confident, even though he hasn't been in the ring in
For 5 years, yeah.
How is it believable that those guys are in the same weight class?
Yeah, I
That
thought
is
that
the other
too.
true.
thing
Yeah.
for sure. That's
One's a
it's
welterweight
like
and
there's
one's
no
a
rules in this
middleweight.
universe at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
no,
welterweight
yeah.
versus middleweight right there.
Yeah.
Welterweight versus heavyweight, I mean. Because
Yeah.
welterweight, freaking Drago's character is definitely not heavyweight. He's like welterweight. Like he's not, he would be big for even fighting Mike Tyson or George Foreman.
He's a good foot taller.
Monster. Yeah,
Welterweight, aka the protagonist from the show Breaking Bad.
true. Nice one. You should write that down. There's definitely a joke there.
I just love all the freeze frames.
Yeah,
I wrote, yeah. The
I love all
editing
the-
in this movie is
yeah.
off the chain. It's
Mhm.
so of its time.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there was that montage of as always the workouts that compared the Soviets' high tech like systematic workout regimen,
Biometrics.
and
Yeah.
then Rocky is just like running around outside.
Yeah.
And
He's
Yeah.
like
Well, at
doing
one
that,
point,
that low
they're both
temperature
hitched
shit.
up to the dog. They're both hitched up to the dog sled in harnesses, and it's like it's about to get sexual.
Oh yeah. There's no doubt there's that. It's awkward because I don't, it's not, I mean, unless it's just repressed sexuality on my point, which it could be. I just enjoy watching men with big muscles hit each other very hard. And if that's like quote unquote gay or whatever, so be it, because that's not even an insult anymore. There's just, and you guys do too, even nerds secretly at heart, there's something so primitive and ritualistic and beautiful about about the art of assault, especially when they're so ripped. You look at their bodies and it's beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful shape. They're both in beautiful shape. They're both beautiful freaking specimens.
What do you guys think was the symbolism of the crumbling statue of Satan in the background while Carl's Jr. came
Oh, I
out
thought
in a American style?
the gold one. I thought it was a bull. I wrote down that it was a gold bull.
Is
What
that
would be
what
the
it was?
symbolism of
So
that?
it was like a false idol crumbling, basically.
That would make sense. Yeah.
That would make sense.
Those are symbols of strength. So yeah, it would be like
A
your
golden
strength is
calf.
fading.
Yeah.
Your strength is being tested. Your balls,
Non-Christian
as they say, your
shit.
balls getting broken. Oh, breaking your balls. I'm just
And he was
breaking your
also
balls.
saying all this born again shit too. He was like born again this, born again that. I want to be born again.
I'm born again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Can't be
So
born again.
so
I
there's
think
some
you
like
don't get to be
Christian
born again. You don't get
and
to
also
go
the
out.
match is on December 25th. So
That was weird.
Oh, yeah.
there's this sort of like Christian undertone going on where they
There's a
never
lot
like
of really deep
Did you guys
undertones in this movie.
specifically
Yeah.
address it. You
Did
know,
you guys notice that the robot
they
was
like
dressed like
pussyfoot
Santa
around
Claus?
Christianity.
Oh yeah. Can we talk about the robot? So Rocky, by the way, has the most racist, sexist piece of shit friend that somehow we like for some
Oh,
reason. He's
Paul,
always
Uncle
hanging around.
Paulie.
Uncle Paulie,
Uncle
he's a total
Paulie,
piece of
the
shit. Yeah.
incel.
His
He's
main,
such a douche.
his
He's
main
such an
movie
incel.
role.
The
His main
lovable
movie role up
douche.
through this because I had to look him up. I was like, that guy looks so familiar. And his main other movie role was in Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield and Ezra's grandpa.
Oh yes, he was in that. Kurt Vonnegut. My name is Ezra Vonnegut. No, he was. Yeah. What's that actor's name? I should have looked it up. But what's that? What's the
It
guy's?
is
The guy who played Uncle
Burt
Paul.
Young.
Burt Young.
Burt Young.
Oh yeah, so he's always hanging around for some reason. Rocky, I guess, is like, stuck by him despite his douchebaggy ways. And for his birthday, Rocky gets him a surprisingly ahead of its time seeming robot that comes in, and he's like sick of it. He's like, I don't need no machines. And then in one of the next shots, he's like friends with it. And he's treating the robot like a girl he has control over, because the robot's like, do you want a beer? I will go get you a beer. And I'm like, oh, nice. Good positive messaging here where Uncle Paulie always
Yeah.
gets what he wants.
It started off with like a monster voice, and then somehow he programmed it to have a lady's voice
Yes.
instead.
He sexualized
And it looks like Black Manta from Aquaman. Like it's got these huge alien eyes, and
which
then,
are like also
yeah.
a boombox apparently.
Yeah.
well, and then it's got a camera in its chest, and it's got a phone in its stomach, and it's got.
Just like
I
me.
mean, 1985,
She
that is a
thick.
pretty advanced.
For
Yeah, it didn't
1985,
say
she
Yeah, it
thick.
was
movie,
an
but
advanced
I'm
robot.
pretty sure he was fucking it as well.
Yeah.
You think maybe since technology was so good back then that they might have rubber dolls you can have sex with now. I don't know why they haven't come up with those and named them something like clever, like sex dolls or something. But yeah, he basically turns it into
That
a
is
sex doll, but you can tell he's like, he doesn't even have a sex drive anymore, Uncle Paulie. So really all he wants from it is beer.
Well,
You
it
old
starts nagging
cranky
him
fuck.
at some point.
Yeah,
He's about to go off to
it does
Russia
nag him.
with Rocky, and the robot's following him out of the house. Like, when are you gonna be back? When are you gonna paint the
Yeah.
driveway or whatever it says?
Some real good messages about women in this movie. Surprise,
Yeah,
surprise.
he's programmed
Yeah.
his own projected misogyny
Some-
onto a robot that is really
Yeah.
neither male nor female, despite the fact that he is most likely fucking it.
Yeah. What do you think, Steve? Do you think Uncle Paulie's getting it in with a robot in the unseen footage?
I'm really shocked at his programming skills. That's very impressive.
You can't
Yeah.
unprogram the nagging
good
out of
point.
it, though, apparently.
Yeah.
I think he programmed that
Yeah.
into it. Probably reminds
The
him
na-
of
Yeah, he likes the
old
anger.
Helen from the
He needs
neighborhood.
the
or his
anger,
mom or
actually.
something.
Also,
Right.
it wasn't just the robot
He
that was
thrives off his
submissive.
anger towards women.
Because Adrian, she like
true.
she makes up for speaking
yeah.
by getting coffee or doing some other subservient activity.
It's
Like
true.
every time she has a line, she's like, "I'm sorry, I'm gonna go do something helpful now." Like it's a little much.
Yeah,
But it was a different time.
I can deal with
It
it.
was a different time. Yeah.
I still like the movie, though. I still think the movie's. I'm not gonna act like
this
I'm
movie
above
was
it, though,
really
because I
enjoyable.
still really
Also-
love the movie.
Also,
yeah. But
like,
there is some
like
sexist undertones for sure.
what kind of income is a boxer bringing in that can
Or
pay for
overtones.
a robot that can apparently like anticipate needs and you
He's a
know,
Oh,
champion.
a
He's
bunch, dude. Are you
he's a
kidding
world
me? Do you know
champion.
how boxers get paid pre-match a fight like that?
In the
Champion,
80s,
heavyweight
too?
champion.
in the 80s.
Yes, in the 80s, dude. They make
Was he
in the
fighting in
70s and
Vegas?
60s. In the 70s and
Mm.
60s, Sugar Ray Robinson,
Okay.
those guys, they were balling. They were freaking
Really?
balling. They were traveling the world. Yes, they get paid a ton, dude. Whether they win or not, they get paid pre-fight. Think of all the tickets, dude. It's no different than like a concert, except the tickets are like $100 instead. Yeah, look it up. Look up
I'm
Mike
looking it
Tyson.
up.
Look up the only famous ones, though. Yeah, because Rocky.
The average. Okay, all right.
The
The
champ.
average.
Yeah.
The average boxer earns $35,584 per year. I made that doing dishes and making food.
Yeah, but
That's
an
the
average.
But we're talking
in
about the
2019.
champion of the world, dude. We're talking
This
about
is the
like
number
people
one
like Mike
boxer.
Tyson. You can't even
all
doubt
right.
this. They
Okay,
make
no, you're
millions.
right. The champion. All right.
Yeah.
How much does
Yeah.
does a all
This
right?
is Rocky Balboa,
No,
world champ.
that's totally fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah.
All right, how much does a winning champion professional boxer? I
How much
looked
does
up
the
look
the
up,
world
like,
average.
champion
the
professional
famous
dishwasher make?
Like
Uh,
20 grand a year or something. 20 G's.
Not
A
much more
hot
than the
20.
average.
Yeah. Well, yeah, boxing's hard. You're not gonna,
Dishwasher.
unless you make it. You're just getting punched in the head thinking you might.
Pay.
Getting punched in the head is the easy part, I guess.
But at least you think you might get there while you're getting punched in the head, you know?
Yeah.
Like Rocky said, gotta get punched to get somewhere. Yeah. To get somewhere in life, you gotta get punched.
Hmm.
All great fighters know that.
Whoa. A dishwasher gets an average of around 8,000 and 1,200 based on
Yeah.
experience and talent.
Yeah,
A
that
year?
sucks. Dishwashers should get paid more than the cooks, for Christ's sakes. It's such a miserable job.
In Nevada, the average salary is
But I don't care if anyone
$23,470.
spits in my dishes.
This is the best time, Ryan, to be saying during COVID that you don't care if anyone spits in your dishes.
The average dishwasher makes $12 an hour.
Go ahead, Domino's. I don't care.
But I
Yeah,
will
dishwashers are
advocate for dishwashing because it's a very meditative
Oh, it's
practice,
great.
and I fucking love it
Dude, I loved it.
personally.
Yeah,
Like,
me too.
you know, I make enough money just like fucking working.
Oh, I'm not hating. It's a
Like-
hard job, though. That's all I'm saying. Hard and underpaid. The only problem with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But God bless the dishwashers of the world. And I do care. Ryan doesn't care if you spit on his dishes, but personally right now, maybe after COVID or before COVID, it's cool if you spit in my pasta, but now, please.
I want to talk about the montages one more time really quick. This movie had like 4 or 5 full song length montages, and
There were a lot of
some of them were
montages.
crazy. We had at least 2 training montages, but my favorite montage is when he's left his house and he's having really dark thoughts and he's driving on the highway, and it's showing in his head what he's thinking about, and he's thinking about Apollo Creed dying, Apollo Creed being murdered, Apollo Creed the moment where he dies, and then he's picturing his wife at the top of the stairs, and then he spends the next 2 minutes thinking about times he and his wife had sex.
When they were younger.
And then he starts thinking about
all over the place. Yeah.
Random moments from the other Rocky movies. He's like, oh, that time that I knocked out Apollo Creed, that time that I knocked out Mr. T. And then
It's
towards
just the
the
parts
end, he starts thinking about Apollo Creed being murdered again.
Yeah. No, okay, let's be
Yeah.
straight. He thinks about his friend dying, and then he thinks about fucking his girl, and then he thinks about beating up black dudes for like
Well,
2
there is
minutes
a lot
straight.
of time to kill out there. There's nothing else to do.
He is
So that's-
And this
Between
is a-
rounds,
he is
you know,
driving
you're
to
time
Russia.
travel.
The mind wanders.
And this is a 90-minute movie.
It does.
So if you took out all of the clips of previous movies and clips of earlier in this movie, this would be, I mean, that's 10 minutes easily. This is like an 80-minute
Yeah.
long movie.
Yeah, it is.
But it's such
like
a fan
72 or
favorite.
something like that. It's a really short movie, and like Ryan said, like there's so much recycled footage that, like, you know, when you break it down, there's probably like 3 parts of the film that were like new, like all the shit in Russia where he's like in the snow, which was fucking cool. I love the training sequence in Russia where he's like climbing up the
was cool.
mountain. I thought it was fake
Yeah,
at first.
badass.
Like just the depth
Wasn't he
of
carrying
like,
he was carrying something over his back too, wasn't he? Running up the mountain, I mean.
yeah, big.
It was like one of those water-
A
Christian-
goat. Didn't he have a
the cross.
goat? Oh yeah, the cross. Yeah, that's what it was.
no,
No, Steve's lying.
no.
No.
For some reason, I'm
movie.
imagining him holding
He
it.
had a
I was
log.
like, "There's no way."
He had
a log
he
on
had
his back,
a-
and he's holding it like a
definitely
cross.
A yoke. He had a yoke.
Yeah, but I was picturing a goat. It would
Yeah,
be
but
badass
it-
if you
he
were
did have a
carrying
log
a
at
goat.
one
It's from
point.
the.
Oh,
That's very
okay. So I have
Christian
another
imagery.
question about the training montage, because in the last training montage before the big fight, we see Drago twice what looks like critically injuring his sparring partners. Like they're just
Right.
Like there's
Yeah,
just an
it's
endless.
just
shredded.
knocked
They're just
flat.
putting guys in front of him, and we see him like
Brain
knock a
damage.
bunch of blood
Yeah,
out of, and it's like, God damn it,
it's the
motherfucker! I'm
Soviet
here
Union,
to
baby.
try to help you win, and you just like broke my jaw. Jesus Christ!
Okay,
The one
Well,
thing
he's
can I
an
talk about
animal.
that? Can I
I
talk
always
about that?
misremembered. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, because the weird thing about Drago's character is you kind of hate him for his brutality, but you also realize you feel a little bad for him because he's being brainwashed by the
By his
Soviet
butch
Union, those
wife.
weird guys. Well, no, seriously, but those it's all about Russian government and Russian
His
propaganda.
wife
They're
is so
training him
hot.
like an animal. Hold on, dude.
Sorry,
So
go
I
ahead.
have written down the
Keep
lines
it in your
that
pants.
he says. These are the 10 lines of dialogue from Drago, which shows he's just been brainwashed. So the reason he hits them so hard is because he's brainwashed. He's had the compassion brainwashed out of him. These are his lines, his 10 lines. You will lose. I cannot be defeated. I defeat all men. If he dies, he dies. I ran out of printer and prepared, but
He is
he's
not
not
human.
human. He's a piece of iron. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this
I
part's
like
tragic.
that one.
This movie's actually really smart because what he yells is so poetic.
They
He's
humanize
talking
him.
about how
Yeah.
he's trying to find himself. He goes, "I fight for me, for me." So he's
Yeah,
like,
that part's pretty
it's
rad.
pretty genius actually because he's talking about how he like lost himself.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
And these like
Yeah.
weird Soviet experiments and shit. Yeah. Like they show him and he's like basically being tortured. He's in this like synthetic environment,
Totally.
like hooked up to like every
Yeah.
possible configuration of machine, like being pumped with
Yeah.
like drugs and shit. Like
Does
yeah,
it
he's
does
being
it seem like
tortured.
originally? Does it seem like originally
Totally.
there was more steroid stuff? Because you know, what's left is maybe 3 seconds of seeing him not even directly being injected, like it's a close up, and then it pans up to him, and then that's all we get. I mean, could be saline.
Could be.
It seems
Oh
like
yeah.
well,
Do you think he
I
actually did
thought,
steroids
not
for the
remembering what
movie?
happened.
He might have.
Or he could be
What if
getting
he
a
did
vaccine.
steroids for the role? I wouldn't be surprised if Dolph Lundgren had taken steroids for that movie because that is an unreal body.
Do you guys think he would have been a better Guile in the Street Fighter movie than Jean-Claude Van Damme? Because I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
John
in this movie
Van
he looks like a
Totally.
perfect combination of Guile from Street Fighter and Vanilla Ice in this movie, especially when he's got on like the short shorts that have
With
they're
the
like
long
Adidas
sleeves.
short shorts,
Yeah.
but they have like a
That
skull,
great wardrobe.
a hammer and sickle where the Adidas
Yeah.
logo would be.
Yeah.
Badass.
I want that outfit so bad. That would be such a cool
thought
like
Just do it.
Halloween costume.
Somebody
Just do
has
it.
that.
If I walked
I'm
around
fucked
with
up. I kind of wanted to see
hammer and
Drago
sickle
kill
with-
Rocky. I was like, he worked for that. He should win this fight. He should kill
Dude,
Rocky because
we
he's
got
been
to
put
see him
through
kill a
it.
bunch of people.
I know,
that's
but
the
I'm
other
just
thing,
joking.
is
I'm
that,
just joking.
Like, people,
I don't think-
I mean, how many people have been killed in boxing? Like a few?
Oh, a few actually.
Or-
That's a good question. Sugar Ray Robinson, who's considered the best boxer of all time, pound for pound, he had a psychic prediction. This is an interesting boxing story. Best boxer of all time actually had a psychic prediction saying, "I don't want to do this fight. I had a dream. I'm going to kill him." And then the next fight, yeah, look it up, Jason. He did kill the guy. He punched him so hard he killed him. Doesn't happen often. I'm wondering how often it happens, but not often. But it does happen.
So
It does happen.
in
It is a risk to
February
lose your life,
of
Robert.
1995, it was estimated that approximately 500 boxers had died as a result of boxing since the Marquis of
Yeah.
Queensberry rules were introduced in 1884. So over the course of
Oh, that's not bad.
111 years, 500 boxers.
Only 500? No big deal. That's not bad. What? That's like one a year or something. Who cares?
I mean, not
That's
to, like,
4.5
minimize,
a
It's
year.
worth
like
it.
it's not tragic, but it is
That's
a
okay.
calculated risk. Like,
Yeah,
you get
exactly.
hit in
It's
the
fine.
head, you
I'm not gonna
need your head
enjoy
and you know it.
Yeah, they get paid if they know what they're doing. I hate when they condescend to it and they're like, they get brain damage. It's like they're smart enough to know they get brain damage, and if they're making living, it's freedom. You know, if I'm gonna pay for it, I'm not
let's
gonna
be
also
real.
say it's bad.
Boxers and football players, you can't be any less judgmental about them for throwing their lives and brains away than you would be with any common heroin or crack cocaine addict.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I
wouldn't.
say.
It's their business.
Don't
It's a bad
judge. it is
could be a
their
bad
brain
idea.
and body, but
Yeah.
boxers don't
Wow. Okay.
pretend like it's totally safe.
Well,
Well, it's
here's
their
the other thing is
decision. Yeah.
the
Free
frontal
will.
cortex of the brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25 years old. And
Oh.
when you're getting your head jostled around for, your whole life before that, like you don't have a chance.
You end up talking like Sylvester Stallone. Yeah. No, it
Yeah.
happens to the best heavyweights. Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Joe Louis, all of them. Like, if it's sad because they still interview them and put them like as commentators on fights. And I'm not joking. They're like, so Joe Frazier, how do you think this fight's going? And it cuts to him, like the heavyweight champion of the world, who was like the shit one time. He's just like, he needs to go in, and it's like really sad. Like they get slowed down. Yeah, so it does happen. I just think they have the right to choose. That's all. Simple argument.
Ezra Pryor
Yeah.
is pro-choice.
I'm pro. Well, yeah, everything pretty much.
Sugar
If
Ray
you agree with
Robinson
freedom.
was a
Pro.
Yeah, there you go.
welterweight.
That's it.
He was a welterweight.
Yeah, that's Sugar Ray. Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't say heavyweight.
I just want to fly.
No, I'm just saying that he was a
Yeah,
beast.
yeah.
Sugar.
No, he's an
Yeah,
interesting
I know. That's
story.
what
He's the best.
I just want to fly.
Yeah, right. Now that I think about it, it's fucked up. Sugar Ray chose that name because those are black boxing legends, and I'm not surprised with Sugar Ray at all for disrespecting the game. He doesn't seem like an honorable guy. Yo, Sugar Ray, I'm calling you out. Sugar Ray Leonard and Sugar Ray Robinson.
Speaking of God, he only agreed to continue with the fight after being convinced by a priest that everything would be all right.
Oh, that's a bad idea to consult a priest about brain injuries. They're not really experts in the matter.
Something you maybe came up with after.
Yeah, true. Post edit. Go see a priest. Your head hurts, kid. Go see a priest. I can imagine a trainer doing that because that's the old school. They didn't know as much about head injuries, but sure. In terms of African American social development in this country, heavyweights of America have most commonly been African American and gotten screwed over by the U.S. government every time. So when I'm saying those guys made big money, they did while they were boxing. But Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray,
Damn.
what's his name? Jack Johnson, first black heavyweight of all time, badass. He, got rich, famous, but the government always robbed him. Sugar Ray Robinson, same thing. He toured around the world, and Joe Louis fought around the world, donated tickets. Great dudes, and fuck America.
No, yeah, Sugar Ray.
When
he learned that Doyle, the kid, he was like 22.
Jimmy Doyle.
When he learned he had killed him.
Yeah, Jimmy Doyle.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
He learned that he had been saving money up for his mother's to buy a house. He set up a trust to take care of her for like the next 10 years. So he was deeply afflicted by the experience.
He was a good guy.
He wasn't a murderer, he wasn't like trying.
No, he said I don't want to fight. Yeah. But he was the best of all time because there's the greatest, and they usually have 60 fights under their belt. Sugar Ray Robinson, his record is like 153-11. All the other bests are like 53-10. So for instance, Sugar Ray Robinson, like that's a really long career, like as a boxer. I'm surprised he didn't end up more brain damage because he ate a lot of punches too. But they show, if you're interested in boxing, YouTube's awesome because all the greats, Sugar Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Robinson, you go on YouTube, if you're into small detail, there's guys who show fights, break down the details, show what's happening. Like in the Ali Frazier fights, like there's so much technical stuff going on. I don't know. I think it's interesting. But even if you're not a huge boxing fan, this is still a really fun movie. So
it's kind of like watching videos about sharks, where it's
totally. It's like mind porn.
Cool. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think my favorite Sylvester Stallone movie is this one. I was trying to think of it.
I'd agree.
I don't think that there's another one that yeah.
What about the Expendables, dude? That shit was rad.
Shred is a fucking classic.
Highlander.
It's
not
weird.
so expendable.
It's probably like one of my least favorite genres. Like there's some kind of action that I can get behind, but like I love this movie, but the very end of it, like where it's just fighting, it lost me at some point.
I wouldn't describe this as an action movie.
Really
I would describe this as a sports film.
Right?
Like
Well,
it's
like
got the
yeah,
whole like determination thing. Like action films are usually like a person's going through something and they have stakes, and like it's not about like, you know, knowing what they're gonna do or getting ready for a specific thing. It's like dealing with shit as it happens, and I love that. I love action films.
they should make a movie that actually. I agree that now that I think about it, it'd be so dope if they made a boxing movie that actually explored like boxing. More
Oh
in
yeah,
detail.
this did
But
not feel like
yeah,
that film at all.
no.
Like
There
Well,
was both
because it's
too
like
much and not enough boxing in this movie.
true.
yeah, there's
Oh,
only
so
like two
true.
real
Well,
fights,
there's
and there
yeah,
weren't
the
they weren't
last
real
one.
at all.
It's true. There are fighters who have been ridiculously like don't guard at all and just eat punches. So that is a thing that happened. And he does, and the story is actually I can't believe I forgot this. The character Rocky is based on the actual boxer Chuck Wepner, who they made a movie about. But Chuck Wepner was like out of shape, alcoholic, drug abuse, like just always boxing, but never the best. But then at the end of Chuck Wepner's career,
Awesome.
he got a fight with Muhammad Ali, went the distance with Muhammad Ali. Ridiculous because he would just eat punches to the face. Like he wasn't a good fighter either, but he could just, eventually he would throw one. So that's who
Just be
Rocky is
chomping
based
on
on.
knuckle
So it's
sandwiches.
based on an
That's
actual
awesome.
boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's based on,
Is
you
that
guys
what
should
happened?
watch. Yeah, that's what happened. You should look up the movie about Chuck Wepner. He had a
What's
troubled
it
life.
called? Do you know?
I
I'll look it
forget.
up.
I forget. But I always
That's
mix up
that
Rocky
sounds awesome.
Marciano and the character
That does
Rocky.
sound like
I have
a
nothing in.
really cool
It
story.
is. Yeah, it is. It's like The Wrestler. It's the same type of deal. The Wrestler with Mickey Rourke. It's
The
about
Bleeder,
like
the
drug abuse.
Brawler.
The Brawler. I think it was The Brawler. Yeah.
It looks like
The
there's
Brawler.
a couple movies about him. There's also one called
And
Chuck.
Sylvester. Yeah. Sylvester Stallone never gave credit to Chuck Wepner. That was like a huge controversy too, because it was
Ooh.
obviously based on
Oh.
Chuck Wepner, and Sylvester Stallone just like ripped off his story and didn't attribute him at all.
That's
So all this knowledge is
Well,
coming back to me
it's
now.
very
I can't believe
Hollywood.
that's the way my brain is. Like all the
Yeah,
stuff
this
I
movie's
actually know,
very
and it
Hollywood.
doesn't pop out till the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
but Chuck Wepner was fucked. He was fucked.
Oh,
You
one
should
thing
watch
I want to
that
point out.
Leach Wepner fight.
I don't know who he was working with in terms of the cinematography, but I noticed that like they have like the flash bulbs go off like with like the punches. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's like of course the photographer is going to take
It's like head
the
trauma.
picture like with the good part of the punch. So now I'm like, "Oh yeah, duh." But like just in terms of the cinematography, it was really cool where it was like pop, and then like a flash bulb would like
Yeah.
go off like in sync. Like I thought that was like a really cool way of like showing that like sort of interdependent ecosystem of uh
Yeah, totally.
violence
I'm
and
I'm just reading a fact about this movie that in August 2020, Stallone announced that a director's cut edition was going to be available, and one of the most notable changes, in addition to there being more footage of the Apollo Drago match where he dies, is
oh
that
cool.
they cut all the footage of the robot. There's no robot.
Good. Robot was on.
What?
No, the robot was funny.
Fuck that.
One of the best parts of the movie.
They
I'm
cut
gonna
out
have
the
to
Boxing
robot.
fans don't
Fuck
like you.
that.
Like it, I guarantee you.
That is
cut it
so
right out.
that is so just like
Bullshit.
fuck that. That's so stupid.
Yeah, not tough enough.
What does
Are
the
you
Not tough
kidding?
enough,
robot do
probably.
to advance the story?
There's like a whole
Idiots.
montage. They introduce a
Nothing.
robot
That's why
with
they
the
got rid of it.
montage.
Okay, so
It doesn't help the
first of
plot
all,
line at all,
it's
to
a
be fair.
it's a well, so
And
it's
she's
a
thick.
comic relief, and second of all, it shows the relationship. It helps to show the relationship between Rocky and his son. If you cut out the robot stuff, how are you going to illustrate that as well? It builds up the relationship between Rocky and Paulie. Otherwise, you just jump to that scene where Paulie's like, Rocky, if I could step out of my skin and be anyone, and I don't remember what his accent was,
It'd
but
be
if
you,
I could step out of my skin and be anyone, it would be
Yeah.
you.
It was creepy.
Yeah.
Rocky.
Yeah, and then he takes
It's
it back
creepy.
in the next scene.
Yeah.
I've noticed that like there's this trend in American cinema where like the overweight character is always the comic relief, and they go through these like degrading things like having a child spray like whipped cream all over their face or fall into the snow, and like all this sort of stuff. And like this is all in like a film from 1985, but like last night I watched like episode 6 of Mr. Mayor, which is like a current and new um TV show where like there's only one white character who
Tina
isn't
Fey.
yeah, it is a Tina Fey thing. But there's like totally a fucking overweight white male who is the comic relief who does all this like degrading, ridiculous shit. And it's just like, why is that the one demographic that's like not defended by all these like woke culture
It
warriors?
kind of has been, but
Like,
I think
what
they
the
gave up the
fuck?
fight with comedy. Yeah,
A sacrificial
it's
white
messed up.
lamb.
It's
It's
true.
fucked up.
Unnecessary.
Like I don't need to like diagnose it or like say it's about like me or like any white male being like one way or another. Like white men kind of suck. Like I'm happy to admit that. But like uh you know like
But yeah, I suck
that's
big time.
like what the fuck? Have we not moved on? Like is there not like
Yeah.
can we not punch down like at all, or does there always have to be someone that gets like their hair pulled and their ass slapped like at the end of the
It's
day? Like, you know, like what's funny?
Good question.
it's true. It's physical comedy. I'm not saying that's right, but usually like Chris Farley and those kind of guys, they also like fall over tables. So that's not in defense
Yeah,
of it.
no,
It makes it
it's
even
always
worse.
like
Yeah,
it's always some
because they're
clowny
clumsy. They're always
bullshit.
clumsy.
It's
Yeah,
always like
yeah.
embarrassing dumb bullshit. Like every time it's always like an overweight white male. Like and like,
Yeah,
you know, like the it's just really fucking stupid.
it
Should we have
is.
more minorities
I think there's
falling on tables?
I mean, like I
Because
just
falling on a table is pretty funny.
I just don't
Somebody
I
has
think
to do
that
it.
I don't
is.
know why it can't just be like any random character.
I'll
Like why
fall on
does
a
there have to
table.
be a whole character dedicated to like that as like that's like the
How
thing they
about
do?
Because
geriatric
Like the
idiots,
weights?
dude. Because our
the Kevin
country's
in The
really dumb.
Office, or the fucking other guy with a weirdly
Should
hot wife
invite him.
in Parks and Rec, or fucking
Oh,
these are all Tina Fey
Ron Swanson.
things, aren't they?
Yeah,
No, not Ron Swanson.
but
Uh,
sometimes they just are overweight and funny, and
No,
it's
Ron
just a
Swanson is
coincidence,
like sexy. He's like
He
like a
is.
sexy sort
He
of.
is.
He's an
He's
exception, I
like your
guess.
best friend's
But
dad or something.
yeah,
Yeah,
You're talking about
yeah.
Jerry.
Jerry, yeah,
Oh, Jerry. Yeah,
yeah.
Jerry. That's what you're talking about.
Like
Yeah, and there's one on
literally
30
like
Rock
we're
too.
talking about a movie from 1985, and like shit
Yeah,
hasn't changed in like fucking 25 years. Like
and Lutz
that's
from 30
weird.
Rock too.
26
Yeah,
years.
and The Office is the worst one because they have the overweight guy like Kevin. They never address it, but he does have like a disability.
Hey,
It's kind of a
that's
messed up part of The Office. Is
Holy shit, that's
it seems like
36.
they're
That's
using
36
some
years.
disability as a joke.
Oh
Yep.
my
That
god.
is the year. That's the year I was born. And
That's
I'm old.
30.
that's
So-
great. Yeah.
You're
It's-
not
it's
old
a-
till you're
that joke is
506,
old.
boy.
That's how much time has passed.
Hey Ryan, wait till you're 506 like me. Then you can complain.
I'm only gonna
No, I'm
make
just
it to
kidding. We're all old.
104.
Maybe
you guys are
Where
all old and gross.
I don't
We need
want to
some
live
young
past
folks on here.
104.
maybe
Can
we
we
should
get some youth on the show? Some
maybe we can
youth?
get a robot or like a District 9 style like poor alien. That would be
Yeah.
cool.
Real G's
That'd
die
be
at
sick.
104.
Oh, I got one,
Mhm.
dog. You just never asked. I got a robot in my closet. It does all kinds of things for just $1.50. Isn't that nifty? Sex robot. How you like that?
Actually, it's a flashlight.
That's
It's
fine.
a flashlight. Yeah.
Duct
covered
taped
in
it to a
tinfoil.
box.
Your mama just found your best
With
porno
googly
man.
eyes on.
Googly.
So,
Yeah.
Googly eyes
we could
and
figure
full
out what movie to
flashlight.
watch
We could do that.
later. I feel like it's my turn to pick a movie though. I could be
Yeah.
I
wrong.
haven't picked one in ages, but it's just because I can never
that's-
collect my mind to suggest one. But
Do
so
you
I
have
just
one?
let-
Do you
I
have
just
one in
defer.
mind?
Yeah, if you have one in mind. yeah.
Oh, I do actually, but I don't know if you can rent it. But my cousin recommended it to me. I was telling you about it, Jason. It's called World on a Wire. It's like a 3-hour-long German movie about a guy who has a simulated reality with 700 people in it that don't know they're part of a simulated reality.
You son of a bitch.
Dude, I
Yeah.
don't want to watch a 3-hour movie with subtitles. Like that sounds like
Fine.
homework.
Well, that was my suggestion.
I'm
no,
sorry.
well, not
I'm
to
just.
fine. Fucking, this is why I don't. I like slow fucking intellectual burn shit. Like I'm kind of. If you want to suggest another action movie, I also get like, fuck. But so all right, that was.
Let's watch Greed, the 8-hour version. If you ever, it's
right. Y'all got the attention spans of a bunch of goldfish, apparently.
I couldn't
no,
even.
3
I
hours
couldn't
isn't a
even
long
watch.
time,
I couldn't even
but
watch the Girl with the Dragon
there's nothing
Tattoo.
else to do in that
And
room.
like,
yeah.
Oh,
that movie
movie's
looks
not that
cool.
great.
That movie looks cool as fuck. I still can't watch it.
Yeah.
Not the remake, but like the original German shit. Like it's like a whole trilogy, and every single movie is like 3 to 4 hours long, and I can't fucking do
Dude,
that.
you haven't even
Like,
seen World on Wire. You're just projecting everything from that movie onto World on Wire. It's probably good, but I'm not going to suggest it if it's too long. So fuck it. Someone else pick. That's all I had. Nothing else in the tank. Only one thought at a time. That's all my
okay.
brain
All
can
right.
handle.
All right. Are you guys ready for my pick?
Green Bay.
Are you guys ready for my pick?
Yes. I
Now
won't
you-
know till I find
steered me
out.
wrong so far, so I am ready for your pick, Jason.
Me too. You got good picks.
Now You See Me Too.
What's that about?
It's about magicians who do a heist.
But know this, that if you get us on a stag of seeing the second sequel in franchises, then I think that's what we're doing for a bit. Know that.
I think it. Wait, are we watching the second to something? Because technically, if we pick something, I know we don't really give a shit, but it would make sense to pick the first, or just not, or at least not.
I
just
feel like
always do the
that's
second.
what-
Like we shouldn't decide to always do the second of a.
Star
That
Wars
would be
Episode
awesome.
2.
Yeah,
We can,
dude, that
whatever, I don't
actually
care.
is- Not episode.
That's
Episode
true.
2 is Attack of the Clones, and that actually is a really terrible movie. But if
Well, we should commit to it then at least. So like for a while, we'll do episode
I
2.
don't
Like
think
we'll
I
announce
want
it.
to.
Be
I
like,
don't
we're
want to do
doing
that.
episode 2s. Okay,
I
fine.
do episode
Well,
2,
what's the?
I saw it in the theater.
What
I think
if
I fell asleep, but I watched it again.
what if it was like Now You See Me 1 was like an optional thing? You know? So like you could
It's
watch
yeah.
both.
Now You See
but
Me
The
like
is
one credit
on-
course you don't need.
yeah.
It's an extra credit course if you watch the first. Really, all you need is the second.
And there's plenty
Yeah.
of content. Like if you go on YouTube and look up like Dan Harmon has a really good rant about it, because it's like there's Now You See Me and then there's Now You See Me Too, and he gets so mad that they don't call it Now You Don't, you know?
Right?
Yeah, I've
Like
heard that.
it's so funny. Like Dan Harmon's
Nice.
Harmontown podcast is there's some
I've
brilliant
heard
shit
it.
on
It's
there.
pretty good.
But
Yeah.
that's
Him
like,
and Bill Burr met. It was the most awkward thing.
oh really? I
It was
gotta
like
see that.
when Dan Harmon and Bill Burr met, they did not get along, which I would have expected because I like them both, but they have such different comic styles. Like Dan Harmon's like
they don't have any problem with saying fuck you, like to
exactly,
anyone.
yeah. It was pretty awkward. I was waiting for the first one. They were not nice to each other. I was just waiting for one. They basically like they basically had like
It
I
was
was
like
waiting for one of
cats
them to
like
say fuck
howling at each
you.
other.
I was hoping they fought. Yeah, I was like, this will be like the fight between good and evil right here, except weird and not that.
No one's good
So
or evil.
Now You See Me Too. Now You See Me Too.
Yeah, or like we could just
Yeah.
watch both, like whatever. I said
It sounds like that's the name and it's not the second. It sounds like the name is just Now You See Me as well.
yeah. Now you too see me.
Yeah. I
Now
saw
you
you. Now you see me. That's how I felt this whole episode too.
I feel
We're
seen
really
as well.
Making sure we see each other. Yeah. Steve, Steve and I have been seeing each other, not dating, but just seeing each other on and off randomly in public, seeing each other.
Just
Yeah,
fucking.
sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, we
don't
date
like
from
to-
time to time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never hot and heavy. It's always cold and casual between
Yeah,
Steve
it's just
and
like,
I.
what's up, Ezra?
What's going on, Steve?
Yeah. It's nice
It's
to
true.
see you.
We've never had great conversations with each other, Steve. Our conversations are always we have great talks.
Hold on, you guys. I'm watching the Now You See Me 2 trailer.
I remember, Steve, the day we
Okay.
forged our friendship officially downtown Northampton. We were in front of
Good.
town hall, and I
Woody
said,
Harrelson.
I think we've known each other and bumped into each other enough at Bishop's Lounge. I actually said it. I was like, I think we're friends, and you hesitantly said like, yeah, sure.
That is what I would say. Yeah.
Yeah. It was enough. It's enough to
Yeah, no, I think we really connected
keep
there.
me. Yeah, really, we did.
Yeah, and we've seen each other since.
Every now and then, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we've seen each other do comedy. How many times do you guess I've seen one of your stand-up comedy? I bet I've seen literally 50 Steve Yarbrough comedy sets, and you've probably seen 50 Ezra Pryor. And I bet we could both guarantee each other that we like haven't evolved really that
Right.
much.
I am
Vince
10 years
Connor in this
later doing
movie?
pretty much the same
The same
jokes,
shit. Yeah,
like the same
same jokes.
puns.
Same bomb jokes. Yeah, I stick
Right.
with my
Dude,
jokes
Harry
that bomb.
Potter's
Like,
in this movie.
Maybe it'll
That's
work with
rad.
this Bishop's Lounge crew.
Yeah.
All my anti-joke jokes. Yeah, for some reason they're so casual and sly. They never get. No, I fucking get laughs. Every now and then I do real well. I don't
But
miss
every once in a
stand-up
while,
very
Ezra, I
that
get
much.
one of your jokes after a
Oh
few.
yeah, no, you're the one who gets my jokes on this. I actually do like bits and stuff, but jokes are dangerous because sometimes they're just clever and not funny. But
Yeah.
if you do a high audience, if you ever do an audience where it's all people smoking weed, you should go for the clever, not laugh jokes because high audiences do not laugh. They only go like appreciatively, like no
Yeah.
matter like even if it was Rodney Dangerfield or like one of the most belly laughing things, they like stone people as an audience are the worst. So you just have to go all poetic and weird and just be okay with like.
Yeah, everybody's too high, too paranoid to like be
Yeah, to
heard
be
laughing.
the first to laugh. Yeah, exactly. Marijuana and comedy, like stand-up, do not really go well together.
I mean, it feels good to be in the audience, but it sounds terrible on the replay.
On stage, you feel like you're dying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've only done it a few times and it was miserable both times. Like I know I bomb. I know when I bomb, but the sets I was okay with it because it didn't hurt my ego because I kind of knew from 10 years in doing it that high audiences, you should go for more of like a Dr. Seussian vibe, clever shit. So if I look at the audience in general and they're doing what you do during the podcast, which I like, I hope the audience sees it when you go, and that's a good night, you know? Some silent chuckles. They're chuckles. They're just completely silent.
Well, that's what you want, right?
That's what you want. You don't want a loud response. You just want to know that, like, hey,
I can start belly laughing into the microphone if you want.
They don't have to laugh. They just have to understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, stand-up's hard. I think I'm just like venting about how, even though I haven't done it in a while, I think I am gonna start an open mic. If you guys want to come on Monday nights, I'm gonna start the Western Mass Comedy Group open mic. I think I'm gonna call it Rascal House Open Mic, just because I'm bored. Online on Zoom, I think. Zoom. I'll announce it. I'm gonna make an event. I'm just deciding if I'm committed enough to hosting another open mic because it's not always fun. Captain Jimmy's was a nightmare. Ryan was there for some of the. Captain Jimmy's was a weird open mic, right?
Yeah,
it was pretty
weird,
fun though.
Cool.
It was fun. Yeah. Captain, where art thou, Captain Jimmy? Yeah.
Yeah. So, you guys want to wrap up for the evening?
Oh yeah, wear protection.
Yeah,
totally.
We got
good
2
job.
hours on the clock.
That was the best
We're
movie.
good.
I think this one will be good too, just to hoe it out. People love Rocky IV, so it might get a ton of views.
Totally.
Just because people.
I got one last thing to say about Rocky IV. Is
hoe
the
it
quote
out
from the other trainer, the not Burt Young trainer, the black one, at the end when Rocky's losing against Dolph Lundgren. His advice as a professional boxing coach is punch and punch till you can't punch no more.
Yeah,
that's good advice actually in that fight. That is like boxing coaches, like it might seem dumb, but he actually means like you're really gonna have to like drill it to this guy, like whatever you've been giving. I know it seems like you're most, but you have to even give. He's basically pushing him to the point of insanity when he says that, because trainers really rev their boxers up. It seems fucked up, it kind of is, but he's basically just keeping the fighter revved.
So actually it's good boxing advice to tell him to punch a lot.
Well, punch. Well, it's the way he says it. What he's implying is like, don't even worry about boxing or footing or anything. He's saying like, just to win this, and because that's the kind of fighter Rocky is anyways. So it makes sense for advice for Rocky, because like presumably the coach knows like you know, it's a very hilarious, obvious shortcoming, but I don't think he's going to be changing his unwillingness to block punches in the later rounds of the fight. It's his whole style, you know.
It's
His
his
boxer
fundamental
knows.
technique is not
Well, it
blocking
adds to his
punches.
toughness. The only reason they do that is because it adds to his toughness. That like it doesn't knock him out. Because I don't care who. It's unique. There are fighters who have
Yeah,
had
we
that tough
basically
jaws, and it's
established that his
ridiculous.
bones can handle
Like a brass brain.
2,000 pounds of pressure
Yeah,
per square inch, which is very
it's
unlike
true.
bones in general.
Unlike
But
me, I don't know how.
I
Yeah,
I gotta
no one
go.
can throw that hard.
I gotta go to the.
That's cool. That was awesome.
All
To go
right.
pee.
So,
All right.
now
Well,
you can see
thanks,
me
you
too.
guys. Episode 26. Next episode we're watching Now You See
Boop,
Me
boop,
Too.
boop.
Thank you for tuning in.
I can't
Boop,
wait.
boop,
The
boop.
trailer looks rad. It's got Morgan Freeman and Jesse Eisenberg and Woody Harrelson and Harry
Oh, I
Potter.
love Woody Harrelson.
The first
Dude,
one
he
is
must
the Who
hate when you
too.
call him Harry Potter.
Yeah. Wait, say again?
Daniel
I'll see him.
Radcliffe.
That nerd.
Yeah. All right. Well,
That
thanks,
nerd
guys.
with a lightning bolt on his forehead. I'm just fucking with you. I
Totally.
know you hate the word nerd.
Boop.
That's why I said
You
that.
guys can keep
All right,
going, but I
boop.
gotta
Peace,
pee.
you guys.
Boop.
Great job, everybody.
All right. Good job.
night.
We can keep going. I don't think anyone wants to. So good night, you guys. Ryan's still here.
Night.
Peace out, Ryan. Good night.
Peace. Have a good night, man. Talk to you.